Okay, everybody, you wanted a sheep dissection. Here we go. This is a sheep brain. This is the human brain. Let's look at it from the side. Sheep and human. Is it going well, Sol?
Yeah, your glove is covering most of the sheep.
Okay. Yes? All right, and then let's look at the bottom. There's the sheep and there's the human. I mean, it's very, very much smaller, obviously. But it still has that same general plan where the telencephalon has completely overtaken everything else. It's not quite as far back, so if we look down on the human brain, you don't see cerebellum. But if you look down on the sheep brain, you do. I think a huge part of that is that the sheep spinal cord is oriented back because the sheep is a quadruped, whereas in the human, let's orient it the same way, the spinal cord is going down because we're bipedal. Okay, so in the sheep brain, let's get this to a place where we can start to understand what we're looking at. Well, we already know a few things. This is spinal cord. Here's hindbrain. This is the cerebellum, and we're going to look at a little bit more about the cerebellum in a bit. Here's the telencephalon. You remember that in the human brain, we have these indentations. These indentations are formed by the roof of the orbit. The roof of the orbit of the eye. In the sheep, the eyes are off to the side, and so here's the sheep eye. It's on the side. So you see these two indentations here and here. That's where the sheep eye is. These are the olfactory nerves or olfactory tracts that are going off to the olfactory bulbs that have been cut off. This is the optic chiasm right here that's going to send its optic nerve off to the eye. And this, what they did, the supply house, when they sent us this, they sent it to us with a piece of dura for one reason, so that we could see this structure, which is the pineal. I'm sorry, it's the pituitary. This is the pituitary. So the pituitary is still connected. It's right here. And for that reason, we had to keep the dura on. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the dura off. And when I cut the dura off, I have to cut the cranial nerves. This nerve right here, this is called abducens. It's the 6th cranial nerve. And this big nerve right here that's coming off the side of the pons is the 5th cranial nerve. It's called the trigeminal. And here are our old friends, the ocular motor nerves. They're the 3rd cranial nerve. So those are the 3rd cranial nerves. And now all I have to do is cut the stalk of the pituitary. So now I'm going to cut the stalk of the pituitary right there. Ooh, look at that. There's the stalk of the pituitary. That's very cool. Boom. And now I'm off. I'm dragging some vessels with me, but now I'm separated. And now what you're going to see is that when you look at this brain, okay, there might be a little bit of initial panic, a little bit of initial, it's different from the human, but a lot of it's just exactly the same. Here's spinal cord, here's medulla, this is pons, this is midbrain, here's the ocular motor, and here is the base of the diencephalon, so the hypothalamus. And the rest of this is all telencephalon.